Well, in the wake of Juan Williams having his contract terminated by NPR, there were a number of Republican calls for defunding National Public Radio. Newt Gingrich, Sarah Palin, Mike Huckabee, all of them saying it's time for the federal funding that goes to NPR to cease. NPR only gets a couple percent of its budget directly from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, but indirectly gets a lot of money that comes from member stations. And of course, member stations get money from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, between 5 and 6%, I think, for KPCC as an example. So we asked listeners about this. Do they think that public radio should be defunded, given all the pressure on the federal budget right now, the budget deficit that's growing? Is now the time where the Corporation for Public Broadcasting should be abolished and public radio shouldn't get direct federal support? On the Air Talk page, Iqbal saying, well, should child-free couples have to pay for public education? Should anti-war folks have to pay through their taxes for wars that the U.S. engages in? If yes, then, well, everyone's tax dollars should fund NPR. I think it's going to be very interesting to see, as public television's audience has steadily declined, whether the influence of public television and it waning, whether that's going to have a negative impact on the funding for public radio. Because the last time we went through this, when Newt Gingrich was the Speaker of the House of Representatives, there was the Big Bird effect. The fact that so many Americans raised their kids on Sesame Street and children's programming on PBS, it was kind of sacrosanct. Well, now, as fewer people are doing that, as PBS's audience has shrunk, I wonder whether public radio is going to have the same kind of cover for the support of public broadcasting that it had in the past. I think we're in a much more challenging time than we've ever been.